so just kind of recap what we've talked about so far, right? Because so CAHPS is a long game. CAHPS is difficult. CAHPS doesn't have defined denominators. CAHPS requires some effort, right? So those things alone have kind of made plans deploy hope as a strategy in the past, right? And just focus on HEDIS and adherence and things like that, in hope that their CAHPS measures would be okay and not kill them. So but now you can't afford to do that, obviously, right? I mean, now CAHPS counts so much, but to I think the point of this call and the things that are coming out that are so important are that you can do things. You can make incremental improvements, like you were saying, Saeed, and that's really important. Like, the cut points are so tight. You don't have to shift the whole world, right? You don't have to change the climate of every member in your whole health plan. You can identify members that are at highest risk, that are most likely to respond, and things like that, and have these small groups of these small denominators of members to focus on, that will help you improve your CAHPS scores. And David, everything you were saying, it's sort of like a checklist of what to do, I feel like, right? So if you're not at 4 stars yet, if you don't have the quality bonus payments, if you can't afford to have rich benefits, the key, like you were saying, if you have to make a negative change, over communicate it, right? No negative surprises is what I always say for CAHPS, right? You can't allow members to be surprised in January when they get to the pharmacy and their copay is a lot higher, or they have a Part D deductible, which I always call the CAHPS killer, right? But if you don't rely on the ANOC, and if you over communicate it and hold their hands through that change, and make sure that they know about it and they know what to expect. These are things we can do, and all the outreach and removing the abrasion, and don't rely on IVR, but do live calls or less abrasive outreaches that are more engaging. I feel like, all of these things plans should be doing, and they can't afford not to be doing them right now, as they're gearing up for the March survey, as they're heading into bid strategy right now for 2023 benefits. I feel like this is a checklist of what they need to be focused on. So and we've had a great discussion. Probably need to cut it and wait for a second episode maybe around these topics. But just to what in this last couple of minutes, what should we have asked that we didn't? Anything super important that you guys want to make sure people hear?
I think where we are right now, very end of December, 1st of January, all the plans should have a pre-cap strategy out there. You should have a strategy of how you're going to reach out to your membership before the CAP survey and get your base out to vote. How are you going to get those individuals that value your plan out and respond to the survey and get your response rate up? What's your strategy with that? I think everybody needs to have a pre-cap strategy.
Absolutely. The whole conditioning of members and providers and internal staff, right? And yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, and I would say something we've talked about, having a provider strategy around CAHPS is also important. And having pre-CAHPS, I think right now, being in December, almost in January, that needs to be front and center. Agree, David, completely. Over the course of the year, definitely focus on which providers are ones that are impacting CAHPS. Really paying attention to the overlap between CAHPS and other measures to become a CAHPS-centric organization. A lot of members that have CAHPS issues, and have other issues, they're being contacted by care management. That's an opportunity. They're being contacted by the quality team, by the pharmacy team, by the marketing team. And how can we have an overarching strategy around CAHPS while we're touching members for all of these different things? And so, again, agreed with David, pre-CAHPS is front and center, but then it doesn't stop there, because now we're looking at calendar year 2023, and it all starts over again. How can we kind of just set the table right for 2023?